In the aftermath of the High Court application by ZANU-PF member Sibath Mnangagwa challenging President Emmerson Mnangagwa's legitimacy, minutes of the Central Committee meeting held on 19 November 2017 state he was appointed interim leader pending ratification by Extraordinary Congress. Mnangagwa is challenging the appointment, saying the meeting was unconstitutional in the way it was convened, constituted and conducted. After the late President Robert Mugabe was pushed out through a military coup, ZANU-PF held a meeting to install a new leader, although Mugabe had remained the leader of ZANU-PF and head of state until 21 November 2017, when he resigned. The meeting was called and chaired by Albert Mpofu, who was the ruling party's secretary for finance. Mpofu is now secretary for administration. However, according to the ZANU-PF constitution, only the first secretary, the second secretary or the chairperson can preside over a central committee meeting. In the meeting, which ran for 6 hours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., a number of events happened, including the recall of Mugabe and expulsion of members considered loyal to him. Mpofu was elected to preside over the proceedings, as he was said to be the most senior member of the party present. Among the resolutions passed during the meeting was the expression of gratitude to the Zimbabwe Defense Forces for their intervention efforts in the internal affairs of the party as the governing party, with the view of bringing normalcy both within the party and government. This was in reference to the takeover of key government institutions and the placement of Mugabe under house arrest during the military operation. They've also hounded out ZANU-PF and government officials loyal to Mugabe. The party, according to the minutes, also appreciated Zimbabweans who marched on 19 November 2017 in what it called solidarity to and in support of the Liberation War veterans. The meeting went further to reinstate Mnangagwa, who had been fired by Mugabe on 6 November. That, the unconstitutional removal of Emmerson Mnangagwa as vice president and second secretary of ZANU-PF, and his expulsion from the party, be and is hereby nullified forthwith, and that he be restored to that position, as well as his membership to the Central Committee, the resolutions of the meeting read. That, the resolutions from provincial coordinating committees, PCCs, suspending and expelling members from the party and hereby nullified. That, all members of the Central Committee elected at the 2014 Congress and who were subsequently suspended or expelled from the party subsequent to Congress on the basis of fictitious fabricated allegations by the G40 cabal, whose major objective was protection of criminals, be and are hereby reinstated. That, members from the lower organs of the party, provincial, district, and branch councils, who were suspended or expelled from the party subsequent to the 2014 Congress be and are hereby reinstated forthwith to the positions they held. After that, the meeting then went on to expel Mugabe and forced him to resign. That, Robert Gabriel Mugabe be and hereby recalled from the position of president and first secretary of ZANU-PF forthwith. That, Robert Gabriel Mugabe resign forthwith from the position of president and head of state and government of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and if a resignation has not been tendered by midday 20 November 2017, the ZANU-PF chief whip is ordered to institute proceedings for the recall of the president in terms of Section 97 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment, number 20. The minutes of the meeting read. That, Felix Mfoko be and is hereby recalled from the position of vice president and second secretary of ZANU-PF for being divisive, a member of the G40 cabal, tribalist, protecting criminals, preaching hate speech and behaving in a manner inconsistent with the office and decorum of the office as vice president. The meeting also went on to fire other members who were labeled as G40 and destroying Mugabe's legacy, namely Grace Mugabe, Mfoko, Ignatius Chambo, Jonathan Moyo, Xavier Kasukiwere, Patrick Joao, Latino Undenge, Kudzanai Chapanga, Walter Mzembe, Paul Chimedza, Makasini Longwane, Mandiadoepi Chamin, Shadrach Mashayamam, Innocent Hamandish, Anastasian Ndlovu, Mpelabeo Malinga and Xavier Kazizi. That T. Grace Mugabe be and is hereby recalled from the position of Secretary for the Women's League of ZANU-PF for promoting hate speech, divisiveness, and assuming roles and powers not delegated to her office. That the T. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa be and is hereby appointed as interim president and first secretary of ZANU-PF, pending ratification by the Extraordinary Congress scheduled for the 12th-17 December 2017. That T. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa be and is hereby appointed as ZANU-PF's nominee to fill the vacancy of President and Head of State and Government of the Zimbabwe in terms of Part 4 of the 6th Schedule of Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment, No. 2014, 4b, as read with subparagraph 5. They also agreed that the Extraordinary Congress would ratify decisions of the Central Committee, in particular the appointment of Mnangagwa as the President and First Secretary of ZANU-PF and the recall of Mugabe. Other resolutions were to amend the party's constitution to remove one center of power, place war veterans in strategic positions in party and government, as long as they have requisite qualifications, and restore the organ of district coordinating committees in the constitution as well as filling in the position of national chairman. According to the minutes, a quorum of 151 members was met and 201 members of the total 300 Central Committee members were in attendance. In his court application, Mnangagwa argues that this meeting was unconstitutional and illegal.